Good morning, West Michigan. We're starting off with our temperatures below freezing. Notice this too. It's colder here in the northeast than it is in the southwest, and that's because we have our winds that are coming out of the northeast, and that's creating this cold air wedge, this thin layer of air set up right near the surface that's below freezing. And so that gives us that ideal setup for freezing rain. Right now our winds are already pretty substantial, 10 to even 18 miles per hour. Usually this time of morning they're the quietest of the day, and they are technically going to be the quietest of the day because look at your wind speed futurecast. We continue to get gustier throughout the afternoon. By the time we get to about 4 o'clock, our sustained winds should be in the 20 to 30 mile per hour range. And then on top of this, it looks like we could see some gusts in the 40 to even 50 mile per hour range. That's very, very windy. And the reason why this is such a problem is because we have that potential for a lot of ice. So I'm going to show you now our 3 separate models and the amount of ice that they're painting across West Michigan. Notice all 3 have a good quarter to even a half an inch, and the placement is over West Michigan with this pink. So all 3 models painting widespread accumulating ice for us. Some of this could fall as sleet, which is actually a really good thing because sleet are basically little ice pellets, and that could actually give us just a little bit of traction on the roadways. But unfortunately, it's looking like most of this is going to fall as freezing rain at this point, which means we could see that flash freeze on trees and also light poles, and with those gusty winds we could see some power outages, especially as we get towards the evening hours. Not so much the morning hours. Look, we still have to wait for this thing to track into our area. A lot of moisture streaming up here, and again lifting over that wedge of cold air. So we're clear on Storm Track Live, but as we get into the morning, we're going to start to see those clouds thicken. We're also going to start to see this system move up from the south. So I-94 starting to see some snow, maybe transitioning over to some sleet by 10 a.m. And then as we get to about noon, the transition to freezing rain around I-94 should start to take place. Notice that's when we start to see this band approach I-96. And again, it starts as snow and then transitions over to sleet. By the time we get to 3 o'clock, that snow is pushed up towards Big Rapids, and then sleet to freezing rain all the way down south into the Indiana state line. As we get to about 6 o'clock, still the potential for some freezing rain. And then notice what happens later on in the day. We go from cold to warm. We start to see our transition over to just plain old rain tonight, and that's actually one of the really good things about this winter storm. It looks like it's going to help to limit the impact on this thing. So by Tuesday, we actually warm up to a high of 40 degrees. Wednesday and Thursday, we get another batch of cold air, and then it sticks around a while. Look at those temperatures by the end of the week. We don't even break freezing. So that's going to give us quite a few chances for some lake effect snow, but of course in the short term, big thing we're watching is just that potential for ice. I know a lot of people in their minds are thinking back to about, what, 2 years ago, 2013, when we had that big ice storm. So hopefully you guys are being prepared.
I blacked those things out.
Yeah, you just forget about it.
That whole, you got the most excited when you said, we don't even reach freezing. It's like,
you got to see it with
ready
a smile.
for winter.
I don't know. All weather is kind of good weather for meteorologists, even the hazardous weather, because it's always kind of interesting and neat. So
certainly keeping our eyes though on today and how it all plays out.
Yeah, please be careful.
Yeah. All right. Thanks, Ellen. The woman who survived